The basics of making sedimentary rocks are through dead animals, plants, and pieces of rocks and minerals that are all compacted or cemented together over thousands of years.
These sediments are dropped into bodies of water where they sink to the bottom.
Little by little, these sediments are compacted together and they make layers that build up on top of each other. This puts pressure on lower layers and then later forms a sedimentary rock.
This process is called lithification, otherwise known as deposition, compaction, and the cementing of rocks.
This is an example of the process of lithification. These sediments are getting placed at the bottom of the ocean, and over millions of years are getting cemented and compacted together. Millions of years later, you get sedimentary rocks like those.
Some of the ways that sedimentary rocks are formed are from weathering and erosion. Here's a model of how these rocks are formed.
There are 3 types of sedimentary rocks: clastic, or chemical, and organic.
Plastic rocks are sedimentary rocks that are made of fragments of pre-existing rocks. This is an example of plastic rocks.
Chemical rocks are sedimentary rocks that are not made of pieces of sediments. They have mineral crystals that are made from elements of dissolved water. This is an example of chemical rocks.
Organic rocks are sedimentary rocks composed of particles of life processes. They come from organisms and are formed directly or indirectly from material once living. This is an example of organic rock.
Some examples of organic rocks are limestones and coal. You can tell these are organic rocks because the once living organisms of this rock are clearly visible in the rock. Here is an example of 3 organic rocks.
Some examples of plastic rocks are shale, sandstone, and conglomerate. You can tell these are clastic because the sediments of pre-existing rocks are clearly visible. Here are examples of these 3 plastic rocks.
Some examples of chemical rocks are forms of limestone, rock salt, and halite, and gypsum. You can tell these are chemical rocks because the rock is formed by inorganic processes. Here are some examples of this rock.
Sedimentation. When sediments, rocks, mud, sand, pebbles, shells, bones, etc. get dispositioned onto other layers. Compaction. The weight from sediment layers on the top crush the layers on the bottom. Sediments. Particles that have been carried along and deposited by wind or water. Disposition. Disposition is the process of sediments being deposited onto the bottom of the body of water.